It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight's broadcast will feature the Milwaukee Bucks as they go up against the Washington Wizards. Well, for Washington, this is a team they played pretty well against last season, going 3-1. They'll look to keep that edge tonight. And tonight it's a race of thoroughbreds, two clubs that can go end to end in a flash. What is it that makes these teams so good in transition?
THTA. TDI.
And what does that mean?
They have athletes to do it.
Okay.
Athletes to do it.
I knew what that meant.
That's it. Good ball hand.
The crowd is assembled at BMO Harris Bradley Center looking for a Bucks victory here in Milwaukee. And we've got it right here for you on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan along.
Ready, gentlemen? Ready?
So the Bucks win the tip. And now, we see it so often, a player will languish in one system, then flourish in another. Brent, during your 14-year career, which coach's system fit you the best, you think?
Well, I think my years in Seattle, we opened up the offense a little bit. I had the opportunity to play more of a point off guard. But I also enjoyed the structure of what Greg Popovich's system in San Antonio offered up as well. It's always interesting, Kevin, with players who are languishing on benches for other ball clubs, how general managers start to assess whether that guy can be part of something great if they were to bring him in. I had the opportunity to play for a lot of great coaches and thought that I mixed up my game enough to make it a long career.
There's a good screen. Stolen by Brogdon. 46 seconds left here in the opening quarter.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
To the inside. Satoransky gets the bucket.
And already you're seeing great execution from both teams.
Yeah, lots of points early, and the game plans on both sides, at least offensively, working to perfection.
Pick by Zeller. From deep. That will not get it done. He's 0 for 2. Pass to Satoransky from the arc. Good on the triple. Satoransky's got 7 points in the game. Lawson against Brogdon. To the middle and stolen by Scott. Here's Satoransky from deep. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. And a chance to hear from Bradley Beal. He came from a football.
She definitely put the ball in my hand. She's the one who taught me my form. I followed through, and still to this day, she yells at me if I miss.
Maybe some other NBA players should be practicing with Bradley Beal's mom, because she has definitely honed something special into him.
To be sure. I'm just not sure some of the more delicate NBA egos could handle her trash talking once she beats them in a game of horse.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Wizards?
I mean, really good with their post presence, and it's really allowed them to establish a physical tone here in the first.
Well, they're attacking the rim in more than one way, and with that kind of success, you feel like the defense is going to make the adjustment. Then you start playing inside out.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. Taking a look at the Wizards. Tossing out there with Satoransky. Then there's Oubre. Then it's Gortat, and it's Scott in at the 4 slot. Out of bounds, Washington takes possession.
Checking in
When the Bucks ownership changed just a few years back, you could feel that there was a change for the direction of this basketball club, and they're much more focused on building from the draft, taking a lot of young players that have tremendous potential and seeing where they can go. They're doing everything they can to make this a great free agent destination. The new arena will help that.
6 to shoot. Stolen by Brogdon. And up the court come the Bucks on the break. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. It's on Kelly Oubre.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then...
And so it's the Washington Wizards in command. Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out. Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, we'll be watching the Milwaukee Bucks playing against the Phoenix Suns. Well, for the Suns, they were among the very best teams in the league last season, but this year, just 8th in the conference at this point. So much has changed. And now around the halfway point, the novelty of the new season has died down, and we're still a long way from the playoffs. Shaq, how do the players maintain focus through this stretch? How do you maintain focus?
Well,
Have you maintained focus?
Easy. You're a pro, Ernie. Do your job. That's your job.
There you go.
You know, and not.
Greetings, everyone. Glad to have you here with us on this Wednesday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines. We've got the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. Devin Booker still injured. They're counting the days until he returns.
Kevin, he went down a few weeks back, and the good news is they're expecting him back shortly.
And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, when I asked him what impressed him the most about today's opponent, he immediately referred to the explosiveness on their offense. He said they have so many different ways to hurt you that it's impossible to take away everything. It's just about damage control. He acknowledged they've got a big job to do defensively. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David.
And up and down this Suns roster, there is a ton of youth. One of the younger teams in our league last season, and that was weighted, put Tyson Chandler's age. A lot of young players looking to make their mark here in the NBA.
Let's get a nice clean game, huh?
And it's the Suns to start out. Here are the... 1:52 left in the first quarter. And last season, the Suns broke their franchise record for the youngest starting five the team has ever put on the court on multiple occasions.
Yeah, and with those young lineups, you can see the benefits, but also the concerns. I mean, they got a lot of extended looks at young players, and this team figures to have a bright future. But let's face it, there were some inconsistent stretches because of that youth. It's always difficult for a young group to learn how to become efficient and effective in the half court.
The Suns shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
And they've been mediocre all season long, just about 72% from the line.
Yeah, it's been a very frustrating season for them in that regard, guys.
First free throw is good. Greg, you look at Brandon Knight and you figure that he would be perfect in the role of a 6th man off the bench.
You know, I think you hit it right on the head. I think he does fit that mold because of the ability to play both guard positions and also as a scorer facilitator. It's just never easy to learn the nuance of that role right off the bat. Adjusting to it is one reason I think he struggled so much last year.
Here's Ulis following the basket by DJ. Ulis with it, looking for his first basket still in this one. Yep, that one goes.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Count it.
And this is what you want to see. I mean, DJ firing quickly right off the pass, not giving the defense any time to react.
Warren the pass to Len. Back to Warren. Muhammad with the steal. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. He dishes it to DJ. Kicks it to Zeller. At the elbow, Maker. 5 to shoot. Here's Jennings. And it's Phoenix with the rebound. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Chicago.
And that was a stinker. I mean, that's one of those games where you really can't find anything that they did well. The game just got out of hand and really just a shaky performance across the board.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with you. And you know how optimistic and positive I am. But it's hard for me to find anything positive to take away.
The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Phoenix ahead. They're up by 5. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And Tyson Chandler, known for being a great teammate, a very vocal leader certainly. He talked about how important it is.
Players do the policing. Coach sets a standard, but players individually.
Don't you need a player like this of Chandler's caliber and character, Greg, to make that kind of a teamwork? You know, have that feel in the locker room, that leadership role that everybody believes in and respects?
No doubt about it, Kevin. And that weighty stature is built on experience and credentials, as you mentioned, like having that championship ring or being an all-star. But when you have it and use it that way, the coach doesn't have to worry about the locker room, because Chandler has got that covered.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And taking a look at the Suns' performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
Aggressive rebounding in that first quarter. That's what's given them the advantage.
Boy, the ferocity on the glass, really impressive, and they're not backing up at all, not giving an inch on the boards.
On the court for Milwaukee here in the second. Jennings out there with DJ. Then it's Zeller. Then there's Maker. And it's Muhammad in at the 3 spot. Clark, when you watch a team that's clicking on offense, what are some of the smaller things, the small details that are setting them apart?
Well, a couple of things. One is solid screen setting. That's huge because that's an unselfish act when you set a screen to get somebody else open. Then ball movement, being willing to go past a good opportunity for a next pass best opportunity. I think the Golden State Warriors do that as well as any team in basketball. The extra pass, sharing the ball, and giving themselves up for each other.
Phoenix making some changes. Jared Dudley's checked in for Alex Len. Jackson comes in for Warren. And Daniels subbed in for Ulis. Milwaukee also making some changes. Giannis Antetokounmpo's. And so that's the end of the first half. The Suns. Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be... Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. Now Daniels. So the Suns win it even early on in this one. It seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Elfrid first.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us.